Welcome to United Financial Freedom. Before we get started, I have a few very important questions for you. Do you know the day, month, and year when you'll be 100% debt-free? Do you have a specific financial strategy you're confident in? Or even a plan of action that you're going to follow over the next 25, 30 years to achieve debt-free status for you and your family? If the answer was no to any of these questions, then I want you to listen very carefully. Because what you're about to discover in the next few minutes can help you achieve the life of your dreams. A life of comfort, stability, peace of mind, excitement, and motivation. A life where you know exactly where you're going and when you're going to accomplish debt-free status and financial independence. With what I'm about to share with you, that's exactly what you can have. That is precisely what the United Financial Freedom Money Max Financial GPS is designed to do. Here's what you can expect. It typically looks like 7 to 10 years to arrive at debt-free status compared to 30 years for the average American family. Think about that for a second. Financial freedom and debt-free living within 7 to 10 years in most cases. And that's not even the best part. All of this is able to be achieved without any significant impact or changes to your spending habits or your lifestyle. So, I want you to pay close attention for the next 2 minutes, and I'll walk you through what your life could look like if you were using the Money Max account. But before we do that, let's take a look at John and Rebecca Jones and what their debt is costing them. We'll look through their eyes to provide you a glimpse of what your financial forecast might look like. What is John and Rebecca's debt costing them? Well, they have $5,000 of monthly income, $1,936 in total monthly debt payments. That's almost 40% of what they have coming in, going out in the form of debt payments. $2,200 in additional living expenses, leaving an average of roughly $860 available as discretionary income in their budget. So let's take it a little further. We talked about nearly 40% of their monthly income going towards monthly debt payments, but more specifically, take a look at what it says here in the middle of the page. In fact, this month alone, for John and Rebecca Jones, $835.83 is going to interest. Gone forever. Imagine what you could do by putting that money to work for you instead of it working for the bank. Okay, are you with me so far? Great. Now let's take a deeper dive into the current situation for John and Rebecca. John and Rebecca have a total of $230,000 of principal debt outstanding. There's a 30-year mortgage at $200,000, 3.99%, $25,000 in a car loan, and $5,000 in revolving credit card debt. But I promise you, they'll be paying a lot more than this if they stick with the minimum payment plan that most of us are on in the United States of America. What do I mean? Well, if John and Rebecca were to follow the minimum payment plan the bank provides and suggests, they would pay an additional $152,000 of interest on top of the $230,000 that they owe. That's 66% more than what they owe in interest alone. And what is more, that is 2.5 years worth of their entire income gone to interest alone. Total payback on that $230,000 for them, if they follow the bank's plan, is $382,355 in total repayment. So here's where the magic begins to happen. And I promise you, it's much more than magic. It's mathematics, efficient mathematics. Take a look. John and Rebecca's path is completely shifting here. With the Money Max account, John and Rebecca could save up to $102,561 of that $152,000 that would have otherwise gone to the bank over the next 30 years. Yes, you heard me correctly. $102,561 of the $152,000 will stay in John and Rebecca's pocket. That's the same amount of savings as a 1.35% interest rate on a 30-year mortgage refinance. If they took the car, the credit cards, the mortgage, and refinanced it all at 1.35%, that's what they would need to find in the marketplace to achieve the same results we are talking about here. $102,000 in interest savings. Again, that's 67% of the interest that would have otherwise gone to the bank over the next 30 years is now John and Rebecca's to create wealth and financial independence for their family. That means instead of $382,000 in total payback, It has now been reduced to $279,000 on that $230,000 of total debt. Now that's a completely different path for this family. But that's not all. It's not just interest that we save, it's time. Are you ready to see the new debt-free date for John and Rebecca? 9.8 years, 100% debt-free. Mortgage paid, credit card payments paid, car loan paid, all in 9.8 years instead of their planned 30 years. They'll now be 100% debt-free in January 2031. That is 20 years of debt payments that they'll no longer have to pay to the bank. We've saved $102,000 up front. We've helped them achieve debt-free status in 9.8 years, and we've freed up over 20 years worth of payments. How does that sound for financial GPS? I hope it sounds life-changing because it truly is. Before I show you how you can apply this same math to your personal finances, take one more look at John and Rebecca Jones' newfound wealth. This is the same report you could use to start redirecting your wealth and creating the financial freedom to live life on your terms. So remember that $1,900 a month in John and Rebecca's case that would have continued to go to the bank each month? After 9.8 years when they're debt-free, we're going to help them redirect that money to their savings account, assuming a 1% interest rate in this illustration. For the remaining 20 years of debt payments we've saved them, they're now paying themselves rather than the bank. Take a look at this next screen. This is absolutely amazing. They could now save $644,000. Yes, $644,000 in the bank in the same time frame that they otherwise would have just achieved debt-free status following the bank's plan. And that's the power of United Financial Freedom's Money Max account Financial GPS. Imagine the possibilities. Just like John and Rebecca, you could see results like this for you and your family. So let me ask you a few more questions. Are you curious to see how this program could work for you? Would you love to find out what your financial forecast might look like? If I told you this is completely complimentary, completely non-invasive, would you want to book a time with one of our Debt to Wealth consultants that walk you through this process, capture the basic data needed, and start to reveal your new accelerated path to financial freedom? No credit checks, no special criteria to qualify, just a Money Max financial checkup to see if this system's a good fit for you and your family. I can assure you, on your own, you could spend days, weeks, months even trying to answer all of your questions about what our system does and what it is and how it all really works. Let me save you some time and energy. I promise you, the most efficient, timely way for you to answer all of your questions in regards to this system and how it might work for you, and ultimately determine and discover whether it's a good fit for you and your family, is to simply book a complimentary appointment with one of our Debt to Wealth consultants today and have all of your questions answered, providing you the information and tools you need to make a sound, educated decision. This is your chance to take your financial freedom into your own hands. Do that, and we'll look forward to seeing you. Thank you for listening, and have a terrific day.